Evening, everybody. Good evening. Welcome to the GP2 finale. I'm your commentator, your lead commentator, Robert Ionescu, and today I'm joined by, for the third time in a season finale in a row, by Double OC champion Joseph Willows. Hello there, Joe. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you very much. Obviously, it's cold here. I am in the UK, but that's okay. It's worth it in the end because we've got the GP2 finale, and might
Yeah,
as well
indeed we
just book
do.
this in. We might as well just book this in advance seasons before because third season in a row it seems to work out very well. This
Yeah,
chemistry in the
indeed.
last race, so
I
we'll
guess
keep
so.
it going.
Indeed. I'm hoping the race tomorrow will be very entertaining as well. We arrive here in Brazil after what's probably the best race of the GP2 season, or maybe the best race in GP2 history. That carnage in the way at Mugello. And in the end, it was Dudu Curbi who took victory from 15th on the grid to take the championship lead. And now he has a very commanding advantage of 20 points, but it won't be enough to clinch it today. Because if he were to take pole, the gap would be up to 24, and there will be 27 available for tomorrow. So the title will be decided tomorrow, not today.
Yep, indeed. Obviously, it's a bit of an ask for Thomas Anderson to try and claim the title because he is 20 points back from Dudu Kirby. But who's to say he can't do it? Remember back in 2015 with Telavi Alternanon when he was 22 points behind Gabriel Gomez? He still won the title. So who's to say that Thomas can't have that bit of luck? But you are right. It is advantage Dudu Kirby. Of course, since this is his home race, he's obviously going to have the home advantage.
Yeah, indeed. Anderson has quite an uphill climb to face. It is going to be his last race as well, since he did not sign up for any tier. However, he'll be giving it his all, I'm sure. And it's not just that. While the driver's title may not be super contested, it's only two people in it. The team style is a whole different affair. We got 7 teams still with a chance at winning the title.
Yep, indeed. It's quite close at the top. It's seven mathematically who are in it, but I think realistically, if I was to look at the title now, I would say it's realistically between like three or four teams, perhaps. I'm just gonna have a look.
Yeah, indeed.
Um, yeah, I would say realistically, it's between four teams. I would say ART, Arden, MP Motorsport, and Carlin. So
Yeah, that's fair enough. Now then, last season here at Interlagos, if you remember, it was pretty tricky with the qualifying because we had to restart a whole bunch of times. But in the end, it was Dennis Graf who took pole for the first time in his career, and then the day after, while Davi Suarez won the championship, Jake Galloway went on to win his first race. Speaking of Galloway, he's on a very good run of form. He's taken podiums in the last 3 races, winning in Istanbul and almost winning at Mugello. Let's see if he'll be able to make it on our podium here in Brazil. But anyway, we've talked enough. It's time to see what the weather is going to be like for today. What'd you say, Joe?
yes, indeed. Obviously, Sao Paulo usually throws a bit of a spell when it comes to the weather. So let's see if it will be the same for qualifying.
Indeed. Here we go. It is going to be bone dry. No threat of rain or anything like that. So let's see what's going to happen. If Anderson takes pole today, he'll be 16 points down on Corby. Still a lot, but any point counts. And if Corby takes pole, of course, the gap will be 24 points, which would mean Anderson would have to win the race to stand any chance of winning the title. In any case, if Anderson isn't on the podium tomorrow, no matter what happens, he will not be champion. He's going to give it his best shot. It's his last race, might as well go out on a high.
Yep, indeed. Try and do what Michael Schumacher did back in 2006. The title was out of reach, but he still put on a show. So,
Yeah, indeed. This
uh,
will also be Dodo Corby's last race in GP2, albeit for a different reason. That is because, well, he's going to see a has for next season, so you know that. Once you're in the top class, once you've done a full season there, you can't go back to GP2. It's the only tier that has that restriction. But Dodo Corby's done a brilliant job this season, 3 wins. And if he wins the championship, he deserves it very, very much. So, as the session is underway.
yeah, indeed, a very long loading screen there, I must say. But we are here in Brazil, and it looks like a different version of Brazil.
Yeah, so it seems, judging by the logos there, as we're on board Rahul Patel, still in the running for Alpha Tauri, though it'll be revealed tomorrow or in next episode's finale of the GP4 News. We don't know when that's gonna be the Alpha Tauri. Meanwhile, we've got a big list of names on the Rapax. This will be Rapax's last race, of course. They'll be replaced next season by High Tech.
Yep, on that, the names in particular are all the drivers who have raced for Rapax, though. So a bit of a.
It is. It's a very
So,
soft. It's a very nice
yeah.
touch. As Benz Wallinger is going out on track.
And let's not forget as well, Rapak still mathematically can take the team's title in this race, but it is going to be a bit of an ask for them, I think, because going into this, they are, 31 points behind ART, so a bit of an ask.
Never
if
say
you ask me.
never. And it appears this is the 2019 version, as we do have Vallinger and Zorbach on track. So we have Jamie Griffiths in his last GP2 race before he joins Williams next season, and he's got a little bit of a "Thank you, Carlin" sticker on his car and message. Obviously, his last race in GP2, and Carlin have helped him with an unbelievable comeback, I have to say. And this comeback, he's done pretty good. He was the championship leader at one point, but now he can't win anymore. He is still in third, and he'll be very, very pleased with how his season's gone, I'm sure of that.
Yeah, indeed, considering his last stint in GP2 was basically a disaster, really. Remember, he
Yeah,
left
indeed.
quite at the beginning part of 2017. No, 2017? Yeah, 2017 he left, wasn't
Yeah,
he? At the
because of
beginning
bad
of that
luck.
start. Yeah,
Indeed.
obviously he crashed
Let's
out at
see
Zandvoort,
if
which
can
was
end his GP2 career on a high, as Benz Vallinger is about to start his lap. His first flyer, he won't have any traffic judging by the minimap, and here he goes towards turn 1, braking late as there, and clipping the apex there. You need to get on the throttle early though, and not compromise your line too much into the Senna S, then hug the inside curb as much as you can, and go flat out to turn 3, the last of the S's, as you launch down the Resta Oposta. There's this log with third 4. You need to brake as late as you dare, but don't overshoot it, as Brent Wagner sets a 19.9 the first sector. This run is quite fast, as you'll be approaching Fardura next. A very fast right hand, but not exactly flat, you still got a downshift through it. And carry as much speed as you can, keep that speed going through Laranja. Here you go on the brakes, come to a stop, and then some changes of elevation as you go through the long right of Pineirinho. And Beccare Pato is up next, the right-hander here. Get an early exit, but don't scrub your tires too much, don't get any sort of oversteer, as you're gonna try to carry it almost flat out through Mergulho. For the last braking zone of Junsao, you need to brake early and get on the throttle early. Use as much of the curb as you can, as long as 59.3, because all that traction you get on exit of Junsao will be critical into this long flat out section. That concludes the lap. Benz Wallinger will set a benchmark time for everybody to beat. Or is that benchmark going to be? Let's see as he crosses the line. It's the 1 minute 18.5.
Here comes Zorbach. He goes quicker by 500ths of a second, nearly 600ths
Galloway
of a second.
goes slowest, third only, as Jamie Griffiths is next to cross the line now. He takes third. Ludo Corby, the championship leader. What can he do in his home crowd? He goes third fastest. Dennis Graff is next. The pole sitter last season. He's on pole again, but for not too long because Ben's taken away from him. Now Rahul Patel will be next to cross the line. He takes away a half tap from Bennett. As Usman Procuk is next to cross it. He goes to third. Warson, meanwhile, goes quickest. 0.2 of a second. Impressive lap.
Here comes Kyle Burns now then, heading down the pit straight now then. Let's see what the American can do. And
Only
he's
P11
9 off.
Slowest of everybody, as Mexican is next to cross the line. He's even slower. And Anderson as well. He's down in 11th only. That's not going to be good for him. Garfi is in 9th, and Adventure, he now takes lane from him. Our about teammate Fasheray. Fasheray was pretty slow at 14th, but Watzel up into 10th. Marko Kalevic 17th. Gabriel Coutinho goes 5th on his home turf. And Curtis slots himself into 2nd and gets himself at the front row, but the qualifying master is up next. Lorenzo Tomaselli. There's only P19, but his teammate is P9, Tomasz Pascual. That's the first one done.
Yeah, indeed. One thing to note as well, Kirby is ahead of his main rival, although both of them are outside the top 10 at the moment.
Yeah, indeed. There's no point of making up the criteria today because the championship cannot be decided today. But yeah, tomorrow Thomas Anderson will have to finish on the podium at the very least. Depending if he gets pulled today or not, it will affect what he exactly needs to do. But yeah, it's gonna be difficult for Anderson, especially if he starts down P17. But I think he might have been held up a little bit on his lap.
Just noticed something. One of the names on that Rapax, it says the boss on it. Who's the boss? I just want to know who the boss is.
It might be... No, it won't be Rencians with it. No, I think it would be someone else. Well, is there anything No, it's not chronological order because there's Lorenzo Moturo, then there's David Greenwood, then the boss.
I think it goes from earliest to top to latest from the top block. So from the bottom up, it goes from earliest to latest. So I wonder who the boss is. That's what I want to know.
Or maybe it's the boss, David Greenwood. Or maybe it's just a different person entirely. I don't know.
I think Evan would know.
Yeah, well,
yeah, I do know who the boss is now. Evan's just told me there. It's I Felix Sontag Banks. There we go.
All right, Sasha Banks. There you go. Lol.
There you go.
Well, it appears the campuses are a little bit jammed behind Marko Kalevic there. Nice reference there. It took us a while. So thank you, Evan, for the help. And yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, but still a nice touch from Rapax there. But you touched on it, might as well go on to another topic while we're at it, of course. You mentioned earlier with Patel. Obviously, for some of these drivers, of course, apart from Kirby and, of course, Griffiths, who are obviously going to the top class next season, for some of these guys, this is their last chance to impress because there are some on this grid who are vying for a top class seat. You're talking about, you mentioned earlier, Rahul Patel, but you've also got Ruslan Protsiuk, who is also fighting for that same seat. You've also got Aaron Curtis, who's fighting for an Alfa Romeo seat as well.
Not just him, it's his teammate Ben Wallinger as well in the race for that seat, so it'll be very interesting.
Indeed, and
oh no.
Oh dear.
Oh god, I'm getting 2010 flashbacks here when Mocho held up the two Toro Rossos in the pit lane. That was one of the Toro Rossos, so that's what I remember.
This is a different sort of stuck to what I'm used to in a qualifying session. Usually it involves a driver sometimes getting lodged between the pit wall to get stuck, but that's a different sort of stuck. If you ask me, and Kalevic is down in 21st, so that's not really ideal for him.
No, not quite. Kalevic has had a good season in qualifying at the very least. Obviously got that brilliant win in Monza, but he's been on pole position twice, so he's been quite good at qualifying. His teammate Warson seeks to take his first pole today as well, so it'll be interesting. Meanwhile, Graf is out on track.
Yeah, I won't, unless that car gets dislodged somehow, he's going to have a lot of work to do tomorrow, is Kalevic.
Anyway, Wallinger started his lap. Oh, go ahead, Joel.
Go on. Okay, so through the first few turns then goes Waldinger. Obviously the pit lane exit, it's supposed to be different, but they've clearly based it on the previous pit lane exit, because we know that the current pit lane exit, it goes around a little bit more of a swoop before it turns right. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Waldinger up by 1/10 in the first sector.
That's an incredible first sector.
As now going through turn 5 we go, up the hill. As we go, as now up this hill we go before going through... I think I know this corner name. Is it
Ferradura? Laranja.
Ferradura, that's the one. I was thinking of another corner name, but yes, Ferradura, it's a famous corner. Through the S's part we go into Pinarino before heading up towards the hairpin of Bica de Bato. And I've probably muddled that pronunciation, but there we are. But we're coming up to...
Well, Portuguese is a difficult language. You got it all right.
Magulo is now this flat-out left-hander. Usually in the wet they take it at a slower speed, but obviously flat-out because it's dry. Waldinger is still up on his personal best, but he's lost 3 temps to Watterson, though, in that second sector. Going up the hill
could be up to the top 5, perhaps. Let's see.
To see as he now makes his way down the pit straight, and across the line will go the Hungarian driver, Bent Waldinger. Across the line he goes, and he goes into 5th position. A good time for him predicted.
There. Now then, Jake Galloway is going to be next to cross the line. The defending race winner is only 11th.
Here comes Dennis Graf, who's 3 thousandths up on his personal best. Graf currently in 8th position. He'll be looking to end what has been so far a disaster